You're listening to the Friends After 40 podcast, where every episode feels like a conversation on your couch with close friends. So grab your coffee or your cocktail and come hang out with us.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the Friends After 40 podcast. What's happening, y'all? What's going on? Happy Sunday.
Nothing.
Happy Sunday.
It is Sunday.
Sunday.
I guess it's getting played.
It's getting played. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just edit
I
that
was
one
like,
out. Nope.
We don't have to edit it out.
Sunday,
So,
Sunday.
The people could know our energy.
No one wants
With
to.
that.
No one wants to hear it anymore.
No.
Yeah.
How do we know? We haven't asked anybody.
We'll leave it to Al.
I know, we need Al.
Yeah.
I think it's just low energy today.
It's the holidays, just trying to push through. We're how many days? What's today?
Couple of days. Yeah.
3? How many days from Christmas?
Girl, too many.
2.
Yeah.
Three.
I mean,
It's too close.
so that mad holiday rush to get all the things done, to check all of the
Yeah,
boxes.
it's exhausting.
It is exhausting. I think, I mean, of course, we're about to hit the finish line because the holiday hits, but I think that we are getting to a point where we're like,
Over
everything is
It is what it is.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I woke up early this morning and I was like, I'm not finished. Because in my head, I thought it was finished, right? And you know, when you get that,
Yes.
you're like, oh my God, that was me this morning.
Yes.
So I'm like, mad dash. I'm like, oh
Thank
no,
God
it's not
for
going to get hit till
Amazon.
January now, you know? And then it's like,
Yes.
oh, well, it's a thought, right?
Yep.
then you do the math. You're like, when am I gonna see them again?
Exactly. Right?
I got time.
Yeah.
I did that this morning. I was like, oh my God, I didn't get my sister anything yet. It's December. Today's the 22nd. We're recording this.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I didn't get my sister anything just yet.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So then I text her, I'm like, so what are your plans this week?
God, I hope she's not listening.
She's gonna listen, and it's okay because I love her to death. But this is real talk right now.
Yeah, word.
a lot.
I was like, so what are your plans this week? And she's like, well, you know, I didn't get a chance to take a few extra days off, blah blah blah. So I think I'm gonna be in my pajamas. Then she was like, New Year's, and I was like, checkmate. All right, I've got another few more days left to go shop now. I can get her a gift when she shows up for
Oh,
New Year's.
man.
I'm ready to rock
Ready
and
to
roll.
go.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, man.
It's so funny because on the news today, they were saying that shoppers feel more under the gun this year than normal years because Thanksgiving was so late.
Yes.
And I didn't think about that. And I
Yeah.
was like, is that what it is? Because I feel
All the pressure.
all the pressure,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
stressed.
1 week, just one
But that's
week
a big
difference.
deal. It's
It
a big deal
is.
for shipping. Think about
Yep.
it.
I guess.
It is. It's a big deal.
It's because Black Friday was like,
It
right.
was like damn near in December.
It was.
It was.
It
yeah.
was. Yeah. The
Right?
next week
Mhm.
was December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Sunday was December 1st.
But
Yeah.
shipping happens overnight now.
I mean,
You can order something, they'll be like at your door by
Yeah,
noon
but
tomorrow.
It's a
That's
risk.
been changing lately.
It's a risk.
I mean, we're starting to see that extend by
Yeah.
a few more days.
Yeah.
Right. And depending on the popularity of the gift, you mess around and find out,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you're 5 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You're on that delivery
Mhm.
Yes.
setup now.
I
Right.
was telling him though, it's kind of a like a gimmick, right? Because I ordered something. What's today? Sunday. I ordered something Friday from one of the kids. Regular shipping. They had the expedited
Mhm.
option. It showed up the next day.
Hmm.
Like I'm not. It's here already. It showed up
How much
Saturday.
was that?
I paid $7.90. I paid regular
Okay,
shipping.
regular
That's what I'm
shipping.
saying.
You know
but
why?
so it's a gimmick because if you paid for expedited or regular,
Mhm.
it still was going to show up the next day,
Yeah.
right?
I don't
I
think
guess.
it's
But
a
you don't know. But you don't
gimmick
know.
as
So
much
what is it?
as it is the shipping companies. You got like UPS and Amazon and all those folks.
Yeah.
All these packages, they just need to get them out.
No, I get it. But
So they don't
when you
care.
ship something, you have to select if you want 2 to 3 days. If you want
Yes.
ground, expedited, they had to. When I was shocked when I got the email saying your item will be delivered today. That was Saturday. I ordered it Friday.
That's good.
Bro,
No, I was
learned-
happy, but I was like,
Mhm.
okay.
I learned a couple of years ago that when you order stuff this time of season, it all comes right away, no matter what you pay for.
Oh, so you're saying your learning is don't pay for the expedited shipping
It's gonna come.
because it should
Look, I'm not
get
telling the
here.
world to do that.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
You heard it here
gotta be
first.
Not
careful
telling
with
the
that.
world to do that.
Ramaz says, "Do not pay for expedited shipping."
Well, I
You
never
heard it here
pay.
first.
I never pay for expedited shipping. It's coming when it's coming,
Mhm.
which is how I found out.
Mess around and find out, right? You did it
Which is
wrong.
how I found out.
Mhm.
But I feel like this time of year, when the packages get boxed up and the stickers go on to send them out, all the shipping companies, the logistics companies, they don't care. There's like, we need to get these packages out, and they just move in these packages, and it shows up. Now, if you got something for grandma and you want to make sure that it's there, then maybe you do pay extra and don't take the risk. But if it doesn't matter,
Mhm.
yeah.
But when does it not matter? It always matters.
Like if you
It's
don't
gotta-
care if it comes after Christmas.
Right.
But it's got to get here in time. Otherwise, what's the point?
Well, like you said, like, are you going to see these people?
Right.
Right.
So,
Like, can you
could
buy
order
yourself
your-
some time?
yeah.
Order your sister's thing now,
Mhm.
and it might show up tomorrow, or it might show up on the 27th.
Never know.
Oh man. No, I
Yeah.
just the holidays now is just super stressful.
Mm-hmm.
It's the parties, the gatherings, making sure
Mhm.
everybody gets everything on their list.
Mm-hmm.
It's like making sure you're still sane at the end of it,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And it's just like you said, I think it's because Thanksgiving was so late.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have that extra time
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
just jumped right in.
We jumped right in.
And it's like, oh, now I only got 23 days.
The decorating, everything
Yeah.
became like a level 10.
Yeah.
It was like, we got to get it done right now. And I
Yep.
was like, what is happening?
Mhm.
Can we, I need to like, what is it?
Dial back.
All of it,
Yeah.
the slow, everything. I need to pause, stop, free, like all, it was
Mhm.
too much because now I'm like, do we need Christmas decorations? What about gifts for this one? I got to put the list together. Who wants this? The kids taking forever to tell me what they wanted,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, I
Too
sent out a
much.
family text. I was like, if it's not on this list, you're not getting anything. I was like, you need to send
With
me
the deadline,
Yes.
right?
I was like, by tomorrow. That's it. I was like, or you get nothing.
yeah.
So what did you get much more efficient with this year? Because I like that thought. We did the
Mhm.
family group
The
text.
family group.
Is there anything else that you guys got much more efficient with this year? That's question one.
anything?
There is someone in our family who is really efficient with the gift receiving. Our youngest,
gift receiving.
our youngest does a PowerPoint deck,
She does. I received her.
and
I-
Links.
everyone has their own slide
Yep.
Yeah.
to ensure
Unless
that
you're mommy and you get the whole deck.
all of the people know what to get you.
Yep.
And the efficiency part about it is there will be no redundancies in gifts
Right.
Right.
because everyone knows
What they're getting.
what they need to get
Mhm.
for her.
Yeah, it's
So,
very clear.
Very.
and that is, to me, I was like, what?
I wish everybody was
And
like
she's
that.
getting better and better every year, I have to
Mhm.
say. She started to add links this year. She didn't have that before, I don't think.
Oh, she's dropping links.
Yeah. You
She's
click and
dropping
buy.
links in her PowerPoint.
That's
to
right.
click
Send
and
Send me the
buy.
link.
All the
Send me
links.
the link.
How old is she now? She's 13.
She's
13.
13.
She's dropping links in her own PowerPoint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Christmas
Yeah.
PowerPoint
That's right.
Yeah.
gift receiving
Yep. She's got
presentation.
pictures,
Yeah.
links,
Yep.
sections. So there's beauty,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's fun stuff,
I got
Yeah.
jewelry.
right? Jewelry.
Yes,
Last
everyone's
year I got
slide.
clothes.
Everyone's slide is themed,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
by the way. So
Yeah.
there's no mix of
Hair
things.
products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your slide is a theme.
It's clear.
You might have hair products.
Right.
And you might have clothing.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then I'll get sneakers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
To the point where everyone's like, which side did you get? Oh, I got hair products.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
insane.
Yep.
That's
But it
pretty damn
works.
She's
efficient.
not gonna get double of anything.
No.
Nope.
She's just gonna get what she gave to that person.
That's
That's
it.
what she's gonna get. That's it.
Right.
And I appreciate that because
It's easy.
trying to find something to give somebody, I
Ugh,
feel like
who
it's
has
the
time
hardest
for-
thing. It's like just tell me what you want. Just tell me. Just tell me so I can just go get it because I have to think now.
Yeah.
Would they like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they want
just a
that?
lot.
Then it's just like, ugh.
You sound
too
like
much.
us.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a lot. It really is.
I what's interesting for me about Christmas is it is a surprise for the kids
Mm-hmm.
and it's also a surprise for me because I don't know what she got the kids.
Mhm.
So on Christmas morning, they open the
Oh,
gifts.
that's
I'm like,
nice.
oh wow, that's really nice. what I got you. I mean, what mommy and I got you.
What we got you.
What we got you.
Right.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's funny. That's
No,
hilarious.
That is
Mhm.
hilarious. I think
Right?
the other thing we did better, and I'm saying we, it was all you. You started wrapping gifts early.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did away with that.
She
Everything
does
is in a
gift
bag.
bags. 100% gift bags.
I think under the tree, I like to see the kids
Mhm.
unwrap.
Unwrap. Yeah.
So but your kids are adults.
I know.
So it's
Yeah.
gift bag season.
Yes.
I mean, we still have we have 2 adults and 1 teenager, but I don't want them to watch her unwrap. So
Yeah.
they'll all unwrap until I can gift bag all of their gifts.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just really cool to just sit there and watch them unwrap. So yeah, I started early. We got into this thing where we set up a station, like a wrapping station,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and we just
Yeah. We set up
um,
our station in the dining room.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
So
For the one present that we wrapped.
Yep. We're like, clear the table off. We got these 2 presents we've got to wrap.
Because everything else is in the bag.
Stop the bus. Here we go.
Stop the bus.
Let's cancel all dinner
I didn't even
plans.
buy wrapping paper. I did not
Oh.
buy wrapping paper. I got Chelsea scraps, and that's like I'll take the scraps and just use that.
Yeah. I got a few things in the attic that we can pull down if need be, but we're like, cancel
is
dinner
it.
plans. We've
Yeah.
got 2 gifts we got to wrap
Yeah.
tonight.
I'm still using wrapping paper Janine bought like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Damn,
because
how
I
much wrapping paper
buy
did you
I buy
buy?
a little bit every year.
Whew.
Yeah. I didn't buy any this year though, because I knew we had.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah.
Really.
Because you know what it is? I don't see it. Like when we're done, where does it go? Down here? Like in a basement, gets stored. And so I forget how much we have.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, let me just buy it. You can't have too much.
Right.
So I'll be out and I'm like, let me just grab a couple of rolls. Let me get
Mhm.
some gift bags. And then he pulls everything out. And I'm like, oh, I have like 50 rolls.
Mhm.
already.
And we have gift bags for days.
A lot of gift bags.
But she bought like this I don't know. It's something that holds all of the
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
like a
It's like a
bag.
caddy.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
Mhm.
caddy for
Mhm.
like all of the wrapping paper for
yeah.
so all of the
Stuff
Christmas
goes in there.
stuff
Yeah.
goes in there.
I love
Tissue
that, yeah.
paper,
Mhm.
Yeah,
everything is in
everything.
there. You just
Yeah.
pull it out and then you just
Yeah.
I'm actually more excited about the organization of Christmas things, putting the balls away. Like we were at Michael's the other day. We were like,
Yes.
oh, we should buy this. It was like
Yes.
$55
Yes.
to store each ball,
Each ball.
Yeah.
individually.
Yeah.
And I was more excited about that
Yeah.
than actually buying gifts for people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Those things are great
Oh
though,
my
because
God.
next year, like when it's time to decorate, pulling that out and you can leave the hook and all that stuff
Yep.
on it.
it's
you're
gonna be
like,
rough this
worth,
year
huh? It is gonna be rough.
because we got a second tree, your Grinch
Mhm.
tree,
I love the Grinch
Oh,
tree.
it's so
We have to
nice.
buy more storage bins.
and they wrap. So we learned from a neighbor who's like masterfully able to decorate trees.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He bundles 3 ornaments on
Just the
one
On
hook.
one
cluster,
hook.
He
yeah.
clusters them.
Mhm.
I'm like, do I have to uncluster these? Can I
Just
just
throw
throw them
them
all
away?
in
Oh my
a
God.
Now
you-
I am so
I
disorganized.
think you should just take your Grinch tree, wrap it with
I
like,
would love that.
and then just stick it in one of these rooms, and it's
Store it.
already done.
done. Mhm.
Just saying. Just saying.
Mind
saying.
blown right now.
Look
Just
at his
saying.
face. He's
Look
like,
at
I
him,
might
he's
do
like-
that.
He's
I'm
never been
saying you
happier.
can find a corner somewhere and just stick it there for next year,
My
and you'll
God.
be fine. You just unwrap it and be
Mhm.
I
like,
could buy the
"Ta-da."
plastic wrap that you use
Yes.
for moving.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
That's
yeah.
what she's talking about.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
because none of those ornaments are glass.
Yeah, just
Fine.
wrap that. And
They're all plastic.
Yep.
What?
Why not?
Yep.
You know what? I am going.
That is some level
I'm going
5.
to ex-
Level 5 pro hack.
I'm going to
You
Mhm.
gonna do that?
I'm at least looking to potentially doing that.
You should.
If I think it'll work, I am. I'm gonna.
You can store it in the storage room.
Mm-hmm.
It'll
Yeah.
work.
Ugh.
All right.
Level
Yeah.
5 stuff.
So
right
we're
there.
wrapping up this year, heading into a new one.
Yep.
Do you guys do New Year's resolutions?
I don't call it a resolution.
What do you call it?
Just like a goal that I
Yeah.
want to set for myself.
Yeah.
You know, and something that has to be achievable because I mean, the bar is really not that high, right? Because I'm like, oh God, I don't want to commit to something.
I'm sure you're not alone in that.
Yeah, I just admit it. Just small little things. It's just more for me, like taking care of myself. It's
Yeah.
putting myself 1st as opposed to putting everyone else first. So I
Mhm.
feel like that one's number one for me. Try to exercise more. I lost a shit ton of weight, so now I just want to stay healthy. So I'm gonna start there.
Good. Have you thought about how you're going to do it?
Well, I got some workbooks
Mm-hmm.
that I just ordered for myself, and
I love that.
it just has like goals to set and
Yeah.
write them down, and
Yeah.
you have to go back every week, and they
Yep.
say to put 2 or 3 things down that you want to do during the week.
Yeah.
Right. At the end of the week, go back to it, and did you get those things done?
Right.
Start small.
Yep.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
Yep. The starting small is huge. Yeah.
The starting is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
It's it's funny because you call them something. I don't call them New Year's resolutions either. I call them I like to manifest, I like to put things out into the universe too. That's like my sense of goal. Why is your eyebrow going up? That's like my
No, I remember I used
my
to talk
goal.
manifestations. It
Yeah.
used to be like,
I'm a believer. Do you know why? We moved here and we were unpacking and I came across your vision board.
Vision board.
And I was like, oh my God, most of the things on here have come to fruition, right? Including the house we're in, right? You had a lot of things on there. I mean, and this was something you told me like years ago.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying that you necessarily had a plan for each one of those things, but they still, right, came to be. And so I just kind of took that. I like the idea of it. So mine is not a vision board, but I definitely think about, okay, what am I manifesting in the year? But I also like to reflect on the current year, things I've done, because I just think as people, we gloss over the highlights, right? Like you just mentioned, you lost all that weight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a small thing.
Yeah. Celebrate the wins.
Celebrate the wins, big, small, all of them. And, it just keeps you in this mind frame. I think it's like a good reminder of what you're capable of doing.
And what you've done.
Right. So as you set goals, right, for the next year, it's like, I can get this done. I can do this because look at what I already did, So I love that about the start of every new year.
Yeah. I mean, we keep talking about actually doing the vision boards. Because I do want to have a vision board party. It's funny because one of the companies I work for kind of would start every new year, and we would bring in clients, and we'd have cocktails, and we would have big stacks of magazines and a printer so that you can print whatever you want to print, and you just created your dream board. And
I love that, and I think we should do that and include kids.
Yes.
I love that
100%. We should include kids. And I think we keep talking about it, and we need to like execute on it. And it should be something I personally feel like it's something that can be done every year. And it's so funny because you mentioned like looking at my vision board and the things that so you put it out into the universe, but you're also working towards those things to begin with. And there were folks when we would do them that were on their third and fourth vision board, and they'd be like, oh my God, this came true, this happened, this already happened. And it was like actual examples of when you either write it down or you make it tangible enough to see,
you have to see it.
You will start to work towards it. So I think that will be a very fun experience for all of us, because it's just fun to do, but it also goes towards like your own personal goals and growth.
I love the idea of doing that every year, because then you get to see how people and the progress, right? And then that makes you want to keep doing it more. And it is in line kind of with what I was saying, in that it reminds you of what you're capable of doing. And so then it's like, oh shit, I can get this done. I can show up for myself. I can do all these things. It is attainable. And so here you have visual proof of it, and I love that. And then you get to share it with people. It's a little brag for,
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's almost
Yeah.
like buying a lottery ticket and then dreaming about the stuff you're gonna buy.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Yeah.
fun.
And they've been around forever,
Yeah.
by the
Yes.
way. I
Yeah.
mean, that right that
Yeah.
we've probably heard about these things 10 years ago, 15 years ago. My first experience in actually physically seeing a vision board, I had to be in high school, and I was working my father's employer, I guess you would say at the time, or one of his employers at the time, because he had multiple jobs. We were doing work on his house. Wealthy guy, Bronxville, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Big, beautiful McMansion over
Mhm.
there. I remember we were outside doing some work, and then got sent inside to go into the basement to get some drinks out of the fridge. So I go downstairs, and I see it was like it was basically it looks like a movie poster, but they removed the movie poster.
Mm-hmm.
The plastic or acrylic is still there, but the vision board was behind the acrylic, like it was done and dusted,
Mhm.
like it was set up and that it was done for the year. But when I looked at it, and it had cars, vacations, diplomas, it had all these different things on it, and it didn't click with me until years later
Mm-hmm.
that that was actually this family's vision board.
Yeah.
And we're talking 1992.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so they've been around forever, and we've never done it
Right.
personally.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been in our mind,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and I think we've achieved a lot of our mental vision board
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
over the years. So that's really cool. Another thing I picked up, actually, like within the past couple of weeks, how to think about a goal and just a different mentality of thinking about it. And it was, what was it saying? It was, you set a goal, and then you think about, that's the first thing, is what is the goal, the biggest and boldest goal that you want to achieve. Number two was think about how the achievement of that goal is going to make you feel, because the goal is not to just achieve the thing, the feeling you get is actually the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Being
flipped it on its head
accomplished.
a little
Yeah.
bit for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like the feeling that you will get upon achieving the goal, that is actually the goal. And then the timeline by which you look to achieve it, you look at the timeline as, how long am I willing to wait?
Mm-hmm.
And then you set the timeline,
Mm.
as opposed to just picking an arbitrary number, you know, by the end of 2025, I want to have X. It's like, well, are you willing to wait 12 months? When you think of it in that perspective, in that lens, well, I'm not willing to wait another 12 months before I reach X.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm willing to wait 3 months, but that means I got to go out there and strive and get it.
Right.
Right.
So it's just a really different and unique way of looking at the goal of biggest and boldest. How are you going to feel when you achieve it? That becomes the new goal. And what's the timeline by what you're willing to wait to get it?
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah.
We call them bag goals. Big audacious goal.
Audacious.
Mm.
Right? Big audacious goals, smart goals in the world of business, and all that fun stuff. But we don't need to get into all that.
Can name our party Get the Bag.
Bag.
So what do you guys do you have anything you want to share in terms of like your goals or your you know, what are your endeavors for 2025? Small, big, anything?
Wow. That's a big question, Janine. To be put on the spot. I don't know. You wanna
Or
go
is
first?
there anything you like to do? Okay, so I'll give you an example. Like I think I shared already, like last year, actually this year, sorry. One of the things I did was I cleaned up my Instagram feed, right? Because I think I told you I was coming across things that just were like, just not doing it for me. And I love that I did that. And this year it's been so much better. And I was like, you know, I think I'm going to do it again. There's a few more like things or pages that I follow. And I'm like, they're not really serving me any
Right.
purpose. So I'm going to unfollow. But I want to kind of go through, sit down and just figure out like, you know, what those pages are. But that's like a small thing that I'm going to do.
That's crazy that cleaning up your social media feed is a thing.
It's good for your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
for your mental health. That's
I
insane
mean,
to
I
me.
found it because I chose to follow those pages, but when I felt like I didn't like it wasn't either it wasn't serving me or I didn't feel good after a while, I was like, why am I following it?
Yeah.
I chose to follow it. I can choose to unfollow. I can clean up my page. I can follow people that are more inspirational or more, aligned with what I think I want to see. I'm not, no one's holding a gun to my head.
Right.
It was like a weird thing. Like I just kept following these pages, but I wasn't really happy with the content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then it just like clicked and I was like, well then bitch, unfollow.
Yeah.
It's
like you have a
literally
choice.
that simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I thought about I think in a more deeper scale than I had before. Well, who do I want to follow? Who do I think I want to follow? What are those pages? And it's like comedians, like some of it's entertaining, right? And I did that. Way better. Way better.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good for my mental health. That's why I do it.
yeah. I mean, it makes sense
Yeah.
because you have these visuals flashing in front of you all the time,
Yep.
and it definitely can affect your mental health,
Yeah.
your mindset, and just your state of mind in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it.
Do you guys have anything like that? Like, is there a thing you're gonna?
I don't know that. I mean, that seems like a short-term goal, something you can execute on
Mm-hmm.
pretty quickly. I don't know if I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I haven't. And you know what? I'm probably not always intentional about sitting in the beginning of the year and saying, all right, what type of goals do I want to accomplish for the year?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like all of my goals have been somewhat long term. Of course, they would have like certain milestones you try to meet. I'm a student now. I'm just trying to finish.
You have a
Um,
big milestone this year with school.
yes,
Yeah.
big milestone.
Yeah. With clinicals coming
As a
up. Yeah.
therapist, I'll start
Mm-hmm.
clinical hours and
Mm-hmm.
and seeing people. Um, and they're gonna listen to me and take my advice. No, you don't give advice as a therapist. But I will help them talk through their thoughts. But I and that starts in 2025. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like this year, so we launched this podcast in June of this year. We set it in motion. I don't know, maybe like October, November of last year. Is that when we kind of
It was
We
started?
it was in the winter.
yeah, I mean, we spoke about it, we thought about it, and then I think it really didn't kick in to like execution mode till like February of 24.
Yeah. So that was a huge goal to focus on for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um I don't know if I don't you know what is I have to figure it out. I don't have any I didn't sit down to think about what my short-term goals would be for 2025.
Is weight loss on that list?
Weight loss I feel like is on everyone's list or is always somewhat on a list. I think less about weight loss, more about fitness,
Mm-hmm. Kind of
um,
what Lisa was saying.
and trying to just trying to do the behaviors, just trying to make sure that I'm working out um, every week. But that's not a 2025 goal, right? So it's funny. I take long breaks. I'll work out for like 4 or 5 months in a row, and then you get comfortable. You start to see the results from the work you did, and then you take off. Well, typically what happens is we go on vacation.
And it's hard to come
And
back.
it all goes to shit.
Yeah, and then coming back, yeah, I don't feel like working out. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week.
Yeah.
So I think trying to be consistent
Yeah. The discipline is.
in that
Yeah.
discipline is
Yeah.
hard because the best thing you could do is create good habits so that you don't have to be so disciplined. It's something that
Comes natural.
comes natural.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, working out does not come natural to me. It's the discipline that gets me to do it. Honestly,
Yeah.
that was something I tried to commit to myself like a few years ago, um, because I've read this thing like you read. I read this thing that said like basically it's like you're not keeping a promise to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be around fitness, but in general, when you set yourself, when you're like, I'm gonna do blank, and then you do it and then fall off or don't do it at all. It's like you're not keeping a promise to yourself, but we keep promises to everybody
Right.
else. So why wouldn't you keep it to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And it resonated with me. And I was like, I need to do better. But how do you do better? It's about discipline. It's not like I feel like working out because I don't. I really don't. But you could apply that to anything, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that it's not just about that. I'm just using that as an example because I think there are so many points in life where we just don't feel like it. I don't feel like going to work tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the discipline, I'm going to get up, I'm going to get up on time and I'm going to show up. I'm going to do it, right? But that I think it's a much harder thing to do and to instill in yourself. It takes a lot. Like we have a friend who we think is like naturally, like he's very disciplined. And I kind of envy that, you know, because it doesn't feel like it's a lot of work for him. I think it is, but he's just so disciplined. He's very
Yeah.
structured. He says, I'm going to do blank. He gets it done like consistently, very consistent. And I'm like, how do you do that?
Yes.
You know what I mean? How do you do that?
I think it just comes down to having less things going on. When you think about how do you do that,
Yeah.
because we used to say earlier, you fill up your headspace. You need to
Yeah.
get rid of something in order to fit something else in.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Mhm.
the same thing when it comes to the reason why people are disciplined is because they build a routine. They build
Yeah.
a routine because they build habits.
Yeah.
They build habits because they're doing similar things over and over
Yep.
and over again. And the reason it gets tough at this age is because you're constantly taking one thing out to put something else in,
Yeah.
and then you have to build a whole new set of habits,
Yep.
a whole new
Mhm.
set
And
of
schedule.
routines,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? A whole new schedule. So
Yeah.
for those that you say you envy that have that structure in place,
Yeah.
if you really look at it, they have a routine that they probably haven't strayed from.
Yes.
And it's not because they've purposefully sometimes built that routine. Sometimes they just haven't ventured out and done anything else.
No, you're right. That's an interesting way to look at it. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think too, one of the things with discipline, time is a big factor, right? You have to be intentional. You got to carve out the space. You know, like I've talked to people who are like, I want to write. You know, a friend of ours was just here. She's someone who said to me she wants to work on writing like screenplays. And she's super busy. I'm like, well, really what you have to do is figure out your schedule. Honestly, like what's realistic? Is it in the morning? When is it happening? Because if you don't do that, it's not going to
It's not
happen.
gonna happen. Yeah.
You know, if you can't figure out that part of it. So I know she's because we've been talking about it. She's trying to figure it out because her schedule is very hectic, you know. But you're right. It is like we're all very busy, and you know all these things that we're talking about. If you don't make the space for it, it's not going to get done.
Yeah. The biggest excuse for not doing something or getting something done is time.
It's time. Yeah.
People say time.
It's just not enough.
So, and then it takes someone to ask you the question, how can you make it work?
Mm-hmm.
And is it that important to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really what the key
That's what
is.
it comes down to.
How
Mhm.
important is it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to write a screenplay, or if you really want to work out, in your level of things to do, how do you prioritize that? And
Mhm.
maybe it isn't a priority because of all of the other things.
Mhm.
It's a lot more difficult to try and figure out a workout in the day when you have children and
Mhm.
you're married and you
Yep.
got to make sure dinner's on the table,
Yeah.
and you want to make sure that you're present for your
Right.
spouse, and you want to make sure you're present for your children. And then you're like, if I have to prioritize those things, am I going to squeeze in a gym workout?
Mhm.
And or I can do it. I have to
But
get to the
when?
gym by 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, or I'm going to do it at the time of day where I'm going to disappoint someone else
Right.
in, you know,
Right.
in your household, or you're going to slight another responsibility, which
For
is,
that one.
you know, not ideal, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
So-
it's not easy.
So it's not easy. People figure it out. I mean, if you read some of the books on a lot of CEOs and senior level executives, the day starts at like 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
so that they can get all the things done.
Yeah.
It's about prioritizing
Yeah.
what's important. And
Y'all, I'm
how
not
you're gonna
about that
get it
4
done.
a.m. life though.
No.
I'll get up early, but 4 a.m. is really pushing it.
I could do it, but
Every
you know,
day?
every day is another
You
It's a
have
question.
to,
lot,
but
but you
right?
have to do it every
Yeah.
day. You can't skip a day.
No, it's true. We have a friend, his wife is an SVP, and she shared with me. She was like, "Oh no, I get up at 5, 6 a.m." She's like, "I'm working. She was very structured. She was like, "I get up, I'm going through work email, I take a break from that, I'm doing some personal stuff, then I get back on, you know, kind of when the official work day." And I was like, "You do that 5 days a week?" And then she was like, "Yeah, 5 days a week. I do it." She's like, "I have team that's, you know, global, that's this." And I'm like, but
Well-
again, not on my list of priorities to
Yeah.
do that. It's on hers.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's intentional about it,
Yeah.
and she gets it done, and she
Right.
commits to it 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Listen,
But what she has those things around her that she can. I'm going to drop some terms here because I just read Atomic Habits by James Clear.
oh, good book. Yeah.
Habit stacking,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
they've got a couple of things already that are built into her schedule
Yep.
that allow her to now bookend
Yep.
a few things, right? So
Mhm.
it's like I have to do these couple of things, and that is her routine,
Yep.
and therefore her habit. And then it's like, okay, well, what can I put on the front end? What can I put on the back end of that?
Mhm.
Can I get in a workout? That becomes part of the new thing. So
Mhm.
workout before those series of calls if she's
Right.
doing
Mhm.
global stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Global stuff ends, can add something on the back end of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now you've got the 3
Mhm.
for 1 versus the one thing that's
Right.
the biggest habit.
Yeah.
It's all about habits.
Discipline.
When you have
Takes-
undiagnosed ADHD like I do,
Who wants to do all the jobs?
to do all the jobs.
Tell me,
All the
we went to
things.
go see a show last night, and you watched the artist play the piano. Did you not want to learn again?
Oh my God, I wanted to learn so bad.
Mhm.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I was like, I can't pick up another thing. Like I can't pick up another thing. I don't have the time. Just
Mhm.
can't do it, Captain.
I know.
Yep.
Because I was like, man, I wish I could play the piano or anything, right? We went to our youngest daughter's Christmas concert this week. Remember, they had like, I guess one of the girls in chorus plays like the guitar. So they had the music teacher worked it in. So she had like a little, I don't know,
Nice.
10-second,
Yeah.
but like her electric guitar, and then she had a cool guitar.
Oh,
Right.
That's so nice.
And she did her little thing, and I was like, damn, that's cool, right? Because
Mhm.
she's only like 13, you know?
Mm.
I don't know.
Man, you didn't finish that because you wanted that for because Alexa been.
Oh yeah, I said
all
I was
those
like
guitar
that
lessons.
could have been Alexa.
Yeah.
You know,
She
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
want to. She
what
didn't want
she
to build
didn't
the
stick
habit.
to it. She
Oh.
the discipline. In theory, it was cool, but then
Yeah.
when she had to sit down and put the time into it to the practice, we were like,
Yeah.
you need an hour every day.
Yeah.
Your teacher's telling you this. You have to do it. It was a struggle,
She's
and
like,
so
"Nah."
she gave it right.
Yeah,
So
She's like, do I
That was
really
it.
want
I'm
to
telling
play
her
the
she had to put her
guitar?
10,000 hours in.
10,000
She's like, that's a
hours.
lot of hours.
That's a lot.
I-
It is, but
I'm
I
not
think
about
she
that
didn't
life.
enjoy it. She didn't love it enough to do
Yeah.
it. It shouldn't feel like work. It should feel like I really like doing this
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, it wasn't a passion. I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Anyway.
she'll find a passion.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, we started. What did we start doing? We started doing like a family calendar,
That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
right?
Mhm.
Family
So,
calendar.
You know, it's only filled with dinners and cocktails right now, but
Yeah.
we're working on it. It's a work in progress.
Listen, sounds like my kind of calendar.
But you know, we all have it. We all look at the calendar, and then it's a good thing because everybody knows what we're
Yeah,
doing,
yeah.
when we're gonna
When,
do
yeah.
it, and you can't say, "Well, I didn't see it, but it's on the calendar."
I love
That's right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, because everyone's an adult.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
And I think the key is to start with small things like that. I think people get fancy. this time of year. Everybody's like, oh, I'm going to set out and do this for, for the new year. And but in order to do that, I need to go out and get the latest iPad so I can be structured and have it on my table and I can see it every day. It's like, you don't need to go out and do all that. Start small. You got everything you need in this thing right here to start planning your way, planning your life out, planning all the things that you need to do.
Yep.
You sure do. And you also have pen and paper.
Yes.
Right.
I still like to write. You love to write.
Yeah.
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 He has how many books do you have? How many?
I've got planners on planners on
Planners
planners on planners.
Yeah.
My favorite, I won't say the name of the company yet until I can get their affiliate program going. But my favorite is this. It's on a spiral bound 7-day planner, and it's got the time and the day, or at least the date and the month, and it's got a bunch of different columns lined up, and it's in landscape layout. And so I mostly use that for work. So I put, what are my leadership team meetings and things need to be, planning for that, planning for the enterprise stuff, planning for my tasks, just my daily tasks have kind of spilled over into 2 columns now versus 1. So I use that for weekly planning. And then I also have this really cool new, it's the one-on-one or one-to-one meetings that you have at work. So I have a small spiral flip for that. And that captures the one-on-ones that I have with people. That captures topics and next steps and all that. So that keeps me really, really focused. I love doing that stuff. I figured that out for the home front and be good to go.
Let's start with the calendar.
See? Start with the calendar, right? Start with the family emails and the family calendar and just get it on the books.
Small wins.
Yep. Small wins and then become big wins.
Yep.
Well, there you have it, folks. You heard it here. A couple of folks in their 40s trying to figure out life.
Still.
Going into.
It's okay. We're works in progress.
We're a work in progress.
Yes.
I'm going to be a work in progress for the rest of my life.
That's listen, that's my plan.
Therefore is the definition
That's
of
my
work in
plan.
progress.
Yeah. That's how you keep growing.
Exactly.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for hanging out on today's episode of the Friends After 40 podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the clicky things on your mouse that you need to do in order to follow us.
On the mouse.
Right? On your mouse, on your trackpad, on your iPad, on your phone, on your whatever. Just come hang out with us. Just click it.
Just click the hell out of it.
Click it. Pretty soon we'll drop you a link.
Follow.
All the links.
More to come on that.
Subscribe.
Send me the link.
All right, y'all. Have a great time. See y'all soon.
Later.
Peace.